Hello everyone, welcome to our Accounting 312. In this video, I want to talk about the Chapter 21 problem practice. Your final exam, the problem will be similar. I don't want to say very similar, but I definitely can say similar with this problem. You may have a different format. You know, some students said, hey, you put you list those things here, but you in the textbook example, you put those things in the table. That doesn't matter. That does not matter. As long as you know the logic, you should be able to get all the information and get all the numbers. So today I want to look at this question and then just focus on the relevant cash flow. You can calculate the NPV by yourself, and then you can put the other factors to consider. You know, I don't worry about too much of that part. So let's look at this question. So tax rate is 30%, your RR is 8%, and then your purchase of the new equipment, right? So when you read, you want to highlight what's the new equipment information, what's the old equipment information. So the new equipment listing price is 500,000. And then transportation and the other installation fee for the new equipment is 100,000. So what does that tell us? That tells us the actual total cost. So the actual total cost of the new equipment will be 600,000. So we should use 600,000 when we get the that initial investment, and then also when we do our depreciation expense. This new bus can be used, new equipment can be used for 2 years for depreciation expense. For depreciation purpose, right? When we do depreciation expense, the ending disposal value of the new equipment after 2 years is 50,000. So when we do our disposal value for the new bus to get the depreciation expense, remember depreciation expense is the cost minus the residual divided by 2 years in this one. And then this question said when you do depreciation expense, you use the book residual will be 50,000. You use the book residual is 50,000. But the actual selling price, is 40,000. The actual selling price is 40,000. So I think I should put actually here is the book value, right? So I should put for book value. Okay, so the ending disposal value, which is also the book value, I put it here. I also put the net book value is 50,000. So the net book value is 50,000, but your selling price is 40,000. Net book value is 50,000. Selling price is 40,000. So what did you get? You have a loss or a gain. You have loss, right? So you have a loss. You have a loss of 10,000. So all these, everything you know this, we are still talking about new equipment. You have to know what is new equipment, what is old equipment. You need working capital is $5,000. And then the next item, talking about the old one. If you buy the new one, you can sell the old one. So you can sell the old one. We have the net book value is 0. And then we have the actual selling price is 30,000. So what did you get? You have a gain, right? You have a gain of 30,000. This is the old bus. Sorry, you cannot see. I use another. Let me see. Should I use? I just use this black one. So you have a gain of 30,000, and this is old. All that is related with the new equipment. Because of the new equipment, your annual operating income can be increased by 320,000 per year. I should put before tax. Your annual before tax, I'll put it here. Your annual before tax operating income can be increased by 320,000 per year. Asking about, as I say, I only do the first 3 parts with you. What's the net initial investment? As I suggested, I personally think you should list those 3 items, and then you just put the numbers there. The first is the cost of the new, right? The cost of the new, we already calculated is 600,000. It's the listing price plus the transportation and installation. So you have 600,000. Make sure this is outflow. I put negative there. And then working capital, the question told you directly, you need to have working capital 5,000. So you have 5,000 working capital. And last one is the cash inflow after tax, cash inflow after tax, cash inflow of selling the old one, So we focus on the old equipment information. We always start from the selling price, and then we do the adjustment, right? So now we look at this piece of information because we focus on the old equipment. We don't worry about the new equipment. We focus on the old equipment. Selling price. First, get the selling price of the old one. We just put 30,000 here. We put 30,000 here. And then we compare. Net book value is 0, but you sell at 30,000. So you have a gain of 30,000. When we have a gain, we pay extra tax. So we always subtract the gain time the tax, right? We don't subtract all of the gain. We just subtract the extra tax payment because of the gain. So our gain, I'll put it here. So I subtract. My gain is 30,000. My tax rate is 30%. So because of this, I pay extra $9,000 for the extra tax payment. I get 30,000 as selling price, but I have to pay extra 9,000 because of the gain. So our after tax cash inflow will be 30,000 minus 9,000. Give me 21,000 cash inflow. Give me 21,000 cash inflow after tax effect. So you add those 3 items: outflow 600,000, outflow 5,000, inflow 21,000. You get your net initial investment. So that gives you net initial investment when T equals to 0. Okay, so that equals, you got a net initial investment is 600,000 outflow, 5,000 outflow, and then you have 21,000 inflow. So that gives you net initial investment. Second part, asking you the cash flow from operation. We said, although it's a cash flow from operation, actually there are 2 parts. One is the after-tax cash inflow from operation. This is the only time you see the word of after-tax. Before tax, we increase our cash flow of 320,000. So our after tax will be 1 minus 30%, right? 70%. Before tax is 320,000. So that gives you after tax cash inflow from the operation. The second part is tax saving from the depreciation expense. So we first need to get the depreciation expense. How do we get depreciation expense? We kind of talked it there. It's the cost minus the residual, the book value at the end of the project divided by 2 years. So our cost, remember, we have to use the total cost, 600,000. We minus the residual for the disposal, right? We said for depreciation expense purpose. The ending disposal value of the next net book value, we use the number of 50,000. We use the number of 50,000. And then we divide it by 2 years. So that's the depreciation expense. Do we save all of this? No. Read the title. We only save the tax payment. So we only save 30% of the depreciation expense. So you get the second part, tax saving from depreciation expense by this calculation. And then this is every year you do the sum, the total of these two parts, you get the cash flow from the operation. So you have for the first year, you have for the second year. And last part is when you get rid of the new equipment, right? We call it a terminal disposal, we said that there are two parts. It's very similar with at the beginning of the project. So always do this first. You get your working capital back. Now it will be cash inflow 5,000. At the beginning you put outflow 5,000. Now you get your 5,000 back. The second part, remember at the beginning is cash inflow from selling the old. Now is the cash inflow. We also adjust for tax effect after tax from selling the new equipment. How do we do this? We also always start from selling price. We said the new equipment actual selling price of the new equipment. Now we look at the new equipment. Hey, don't look at the old equipment. We look at the new equipment. The selling price of the new equipment after 2 years is 40,000. So we start the selling price is 40,000. That 30,000 is the old one. Don't mix those things together. You use the old one when you do net initial investment. You use the new one when you do terminal disposal. Okay, make sure you know when do you use the old one, when do you use the new one. Now we sell the new one, selling price is 40,000. But we said the disposal net book value actually is 50,000. But we only sell at 40,000. So we have a loss of 10,000. If we have a loss, we pay less tax, right? If we have a loss, that will decrease our operating income. So we pay less tax. So we always add the tax saving from the loss. Our loss is 10,000. Do we save all of the 10,000? We just save 30%. So our after tax cash inflow from selling the new one will be 43,000. So your terminal disposal value will be, you get your working capital 5,000 back. You also get after tax cash inflow of selling the new one 43,000. So you get cash inflow 48,000. So you put that cash inflow 48,000 only for this t equals to 2. It not happens for every year. It only happens at the end of the project. This is the terminal disposal of the investment. Okay, so your net initial investment is 1, 2, 3 items to the net. Your first year cash inflow is just the two parts after tax cash inflow and tax saving from depreciation. Your last year is those two parts plus the cash inflow of 48,000 as the terminal disposal value. What you should do next one for NPV, I'm not going to repeat. You discount, you get the net present value. If the NPV is positive or 0, you should invest. If it's negative, you should not invest. And then asking about other factors to consider. So other factors, I said good thing, bad thing. You can look at textbook. I would, in the final exam, I would say list 3, list 4. Kind of get some idea. I don't want to repeat and waste your time. So this is how you do this problem, which will be similar for your final exam. What I want to point out one more time is you have to know when do you use the old equipment, when do you use the new equipment. I have sent some students, they put 40,000 here, which is wrong. You use your selling price of the old one. I see some students, hey, they thought this is the gain or whatever. You have to make sure what is old, what is new, what is old, what is new. The way I do it is I just color them differently. I will make sure I try to, make the writing, the wording try to be accurate as much as I can. If you have any question, you can just ask me. Don't ask me, hey, it's old or new, but if you are confused with the wording, just let me know. Okay, thank you, and then let me know if you have any question. Thank you.